This is the Bar Steward's Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
Hello and a huge warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Enquiry Newmarket preview show, where we've got Newmarket on the slop. Or is it on the slop? We don't know. But what we have got we've got five of the best. It's myself, John, Quentin, Jack and Nick, all to go through the slop or potential slop with you to find the best bets at HQ and elsewhere this week. So, without further ado, because it's quite a busy show with five of us on, we're going to go to best bets round. No messing. No time to waste. Jack Veach, I want your third best, please.
My third best league comes in the 225 tomorrow at HQ. It is early enough in the card, so we'll obviously wait and see what we're dealing with. But I've taken a swing at one regardless. And the horse I've got in mind is the Hills trained Chief Man Carto. This came out of a nice maiden at Windsor, which I think John's mentioned before as one to keep an eye on. Back at the back end of May, second Inquisitively has come out and ran well in the Windsor Castle. Third Sky Wizard has won at Salisbury. Fourth Denruth Diamonds come out and won a conditions race at San Clou. So form's held up pretty well. This one was meant to run in the Coventry and came for a lot of late money actually, but played up in the stalls and didn't end up taking his place there. So comes here fresh, possibly an inconvenience in the sense that a couple more of his rivals have got more experience on their hands, but really like what he did at Windsor. I mean, a furlong out, I haven't got the in-running prices in front of me, but he didn't look like he was going to take the race up, but he seemed to find quite a bit for pressure, looked at a pretty genuine type and he learnt a lot that day, I would imagine. Didn't see, ground questions, obviously. I didn't see much in the pedigree that would worry me if it were to come up soft. I think the Dams won on soft before, same as the half sibling asymmetric too, so should be fine on that perspective. And I just thought, you've got Ryan Moore, Aidan Horse in there, obviously got Malk who ran well in the Norfolk, those are probably going to be prominent and well fancied in the market, and this one might just sneak in. So going to have a 1 point win at Betfair SP, please.
Yes, there's been money for it. It's into 5-1 with the books, but Jack wants Betfair SP. That is fine for the Charlie Ultra Chief Manny Carter. Nick Davis.
Right, 5:45 Chester Friday. Divas Boy, trained by Ian Williams. I've been waiting for them to stick some headgear on this. Its best form has all been at Chester, and they backed it when it was on the 10th of May, where they wore it ahead of post. It lost legs at the start, and it's been doing that for a little while. And he's finally relented and put some headgear. He's going to get some pace in here, and he's quite well drawn. And he can travel when he wants to. But there was a bit of a revival, even though he lost a few lengths. Carlisle on the 28th of June, where he come up in the middle of the track, only beaten 3.5 lengths. As I say, he finally gets the visor on tomorrow, and I bet for SP 1 point. Yeah,
1 point gets the interesting Irish lad claiming 7, who's quite good, Sean D. Bowen. Not the thick lad that rises over the jumps. But it's the claimer on angle and the visor angle, and it likes Chester angle. So I like it. Yeah, 1 point win for Nick Divas Boy at Betfair SP. Quentin Franks.
My 1 point win bet league comes in the, I think it's the opener, 13.50 on Friday. Horse in question is Mighty River. A resident weatherman says there is a strong headwind on Friday, so this should be perfectly just tucked away a few back on the rail. As a physical, really like him. I think he's growing up mentally as well as a horse. He still lugs a tiny bit left in the closing stages, but has course and distance form, clocked a fair old time last time out, and just still looks to be improving. Second's come out on one since, the fourth has come out on one since. It looks decent form for the grade, in all honesty. Surprised they put him in double figures. He's obviously not gone to Ascot. You've got horses coming from Royal Ascot that have had hard races. Still think he's well handicapped off a mark of 91, and can see him heading up towards our mark in the hundreds. 1 point win, 12-1.
Yeah, that's with Bet365, William Hill and Coral. I see your reasoning there, Quentin, and it's a tough race, is that, but nice price at 12-1 Mighty River. Thank you very much for that, John.
You know what it's all about this week?
What is it all about? Is it all about you?
No, it's never about.
It's all about you.
Never about me, like never. I'll tell you what it's not about. It's not about whether it's slop or not, or whether he's overwatered, underwatered, drowned. It's not about who the dirty bastard is at the BBC. It's all about the Camachos and their big breakthrough into the big time. And in the 5:30 at York on the Friday, have a little wee appetizer for the big time with Ready to Shine, who lost a show last time at Haydock while in the process of running a real smashing race. There's also the added bonus of a jockey switch. We've got the, I dare say, hopeless Graham Layoff and young Ryan Sexton on, which I'd take these days as a fair old upgrade. And an added bonus, there are plenty of shit yards with runners in this. 1 point win.
Okay, 1 point win, Ready to Shine. For the Camachos, yep. Ran well last time, been playing Cinderella. Was that first, John? No, Haydock. That's a typical woman. Yeah, he ran at first last twice, 2 times before. Yeah. Good stuff. 1 point win, Ready to Shine. Do you want the early price or Betfair SP?
No, Betfair SP, please.
Betfair SP for you as well. Okay, coming on to my third best goes tomorrow in the Bahrain Trophy. Yes. Now, I've backed Tower of London for the St. Ledger. I think he's a very good horse, but the price has certainly been absolutely devoured. 7-2, they put it in, I think, 2 days ago. 6-4 it is now, no good to anyone. So the value here for me is the shirt-trained Klondike. Comes in this, quite an inexperienced horse, really. Was green and needed the run on debut. The Haggis marker I do get sometimes said it was in need of the run. That's why I backed Banderas the second in the race. Banderas came out and won. Anyway, it's a good effort to win on debut, given the factors how green he was. And then again, showing a bit of greenness again, second start and getting going too late. And that's something you couldn't do against the likes of Gregory. And he was strong through the line. You know for a fact he's got to improve a lot for the step-up-in trip and for the fact it's only his third run. It could be a lot more to come. He's bred to be very smart. He's a half-brother to Kamari, and there's some real good on the dam side of the page. It's a good staying family, that. And so, yeah, Klondike, I thought there was no negatives at all at that price. I thought the price itself was absolutely massive. Was it 17-2? I think, yeah, 17-2, Betfair and Paddy's. That's just too big. Tower of London may win because I do consider him as a St. Ledger, very good St. Ledger candidate, but Klondike should not go unsupported at 17-2. So, folks, 1 point win. So I hope you enjoyed the first round. Swing it back round to you, John, for a 2-pointer.
The 2-point runs tomorrow in the 3 o'clock at Newmarket and is the already nibbled at Frankness. This one hinted at Ascot when she wasn't well aware and didn't get the best of runs that she could be just catching fire now. They dropped her to 5 for that race, and I think they were just pot hunting really because it was there and it was a good prize and it fitted the programme nicely. But the return to 6, where she won the penultimate start over and she absolutely gagged up, that'll help. But I think, given the circumstances, that the mark that she was on prior to Ascot is a very, very workable one for this one. And I think she's still a better, round about 11-2. So I'll go 2 points win.
So that 6-1, John, Coral Ladbrokes.
That's lovely.
2 points win that. So Frankness for John in the big sprint there tomorrow at HQ. Nick, I'll come to you for your 2 points.
Right, we're going to back to Chester on Friday night, and
you love that shit pit.
Yeah. I love shit pits like Epsom, Chester, Goodwood. Yeah, I love them. Rippers. Yeah.
Well, one of the few places in the UK you haven't lived in, Nick, Chester.
I've been there.
Oh, God.
Times. Right, and I'm going to go for the top weight Dark Pine, 7:30 Chester.
7:30.
Dark Pine. It's now down in class where it should be after being held up in the rear in Haydock last time when Cumulonimbus went out, made all and stuck in, I think, a 1080, 3-2 on furlong. Cumulonimbus, Live Your Dream, Pride and One Stream Operator, and this was 6. And they're never near the leaders, but this is a totally different setup tomorrow. The race before it really should have won there when it was just caught by City Streak. Again, it's one of the places. It's one of the horses that loves it around here, and I think just the extra bit difference at the surface. The surface will be a good barrel, good to soft, I imagine, and a little extra distance. I think it'll come through a win. I think it's a roundabout. It's big in the forecast betting, but I'll have to win better for SP again.
Okay, so 2 win Betfair SP for Nick on Dark Pine. That was the one, Nick, at Haydock. That was, I think they priced it up at like 7-1 overnight. And its SP were 33s with the books and about 60s on Betfair.
Yeah.
Incredible. So yeah, it's probably just a spin last time. So yeah, Nick likes Dark Pine for his 2 points, Betfair SP. I'm going to Newmarket on Friday for the 5.20 for my 2 point. Conquistador, Betfair SP. I put this up at Ascot as a good thing off 86. Finished third, but Ascot's a bit of a kip, isn't it? You know, you get horses that just get away from you. But I mean,
Newmarket isn't.
Well, it's an equal kit. Exactly. Yeah. Even though there's 10 runners,
we're on kit form now.
Yeah, we're on kit form. So we could get 3 groups in this. I agree. But yeah. So Conquistador remarkably not put up for the third there, which I find quite astonishing because he's in effect, if you take the first 2 out, it's beaten 23 runners. So you beat 23 runners and not gone up a pound. That's strong form. And what I like here is we've got some cannonballs in the race, and it's headwind. So you've got Russet Gold, Cannonball, Tattersalls, Cannonball. And that stall 2, what is it? They'll blast offy things, and Conquistador can sit and travel like a dream and pounce in the closing stages. So yeah, 2 points win Betfair SP. Quentin and Franks.
Going back to the Clive Cox system that was fruitful the other week, horse in question is, where's its name? Sky Warrior in the 15-10 at Donny tomorrow. Suitably impressed with its debut performance. Came fourth, beaten nearly 5 wickets, but felt he was one of the better lookers in the race. Very green under pressure initially and away from the stand side rail, which seemed to be the place to be on the day. Form of the race looks solid enough. Brave Empire came out and won I think it was Red Car in decent time. Farhees went to the Chesham, ran respectably enough. Form of it looked solid enough in the context of this race. Yard 1 from 13, first time out of its 2-year-olds this year, 7.7%, 0.56 actual over expected. 5 wins from 11, second time out with the 2-year-olds this year, 45.5%, 1.53 actual over expected. Curls its near bit and not sure it is at home on the good firm ground on debut. Bit of dig underfoot tomorrow. You got Hills' horse, which is the right favourite, but it's a Sayuni on what could potentially be easy enough ground. 9-1 looks big in a race that's not. Yeah, 9-1 looks a bit big given the pedigrees he's up against. 2 points win.
9-1 Hills, Paddies, and Betfair for Quentin on Sky Warrior. Like that, Quentin? Like the reasoning, Jack?
I'm off to the 3 o'clock tomorrow, Lee, at Newmarket, and I'm not with John on this occasion. However, certainly respect the case for frankness. That's the one I marked as the premium danger to mine. I'm sticking with an old friend who ran admirably enough last time in a good race at York, which I think is the key piece of form here. Horse is Jane Chapelheim's Mill Stream. Rewatched that race a few times from York, and I think he travelled pretty well for the main part. I think he might have hit the front a little bit soon and just got pipped towards the end by a couple of others who are toward the top of the betting. So Washington Heights and Quinault. Comes out of that race £3 better off with Washington Heights, £4 better off with Quinault. Quinault's gone up from 59 at the turn of the year to 90 now. Great job by Stuart Williams, but you've got to think that one's approaching his ceiling at at this point. I still think there's a big performance in this one. I think he's it's probably borderline listed Group 3 class still, and yeah, was quite happy with the price tomorrow. I think he might end up running into one, probably namely John. So I'm going to utilise the however many pegs there are on offer, but I thought 10 to 1, 4 or 5 places, whatever there is, was good value.
Streams, that's 11 to 1. Paddy's Betfair, well, quite general, but 5 pegs. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, that'll do me.
Yeah, one each way for Jacko on Millstream. For the he loves Chapelaine. He loves Jane Chapelaine. Absolutely loves. You do.
I do. She's not in brilliant form, which is a little bit worrying, but this one might be the one to change it.
She's in better form than Peter. Anyway, right. Right, that's the 2 point.
In many a sense.
Has he still got a pulse?
I don't know. He drinks more than me. Right, that's and I ain't got one. Right, that's the 2 point round done. Here comes the 3 pointers, the big round for the big boys and girls, of course. Right, who should we start? Nick Davis. I'm intrigued to know your big bet this week.
Right, and we're going to the first race at York on Friday, and with the 7 furlong handicap, I'm going to go with the top in Vafortino. And if you look back at the Buckingham Palace, you think, you might be held by Northern Express and Pedro. If you look back at the race around about sort of 1.5 hours, he gets a bit squeezed. And what impressed me about him was the ground, good to firm. He's hardly ever runs a race on good to firm, and that was superb. He's probably going to be back on good, maybe sort of on the easier side if he gets some rain, if we don't know. But you look at his form this year. Apart from that, you look at his run in the Victoria Cup, right? Rebel Territories won the race really easy. On the near side, you got Biggles, Vafortino with the neck behind, and nose behind was Skycatcher, who's won a group race, and 7th was Perotto. So that Victoria Cup is superb form. And he's at 5 to 1 tomorrow. He's going to get a lead off Guiador. A slight unknown. It's a Tinkler one who won last time. This is a £20 better race than this last time. I think Vafortino can go very close, and he's 5 to 1. I think it's a very good price with the Northern Express. It's 3s, and I don't think there'll be that much on them because Northern Express got a really good run through in the Buckingham Palace, and Witch Hunter won, and Vafortino didn't. He got squeezed up, and the ground would have been too fast.
11 to 2 for you, though. William Hill. Yeah,
right.
William Hill bet Victor Ladbrokes. 11 to 2 for Davis. Another half point for his 3 pointer, and a good case made there. Very solid form, says Nick. Okay, I'll go with my 3 pointer because it'll be less interesting than any of your lots. I'll guarantee you. I promise you. 3 o'clock Friday at Newmarket. Yes, let's tip a boring fav up. Live Your Dream, 11 to 4, generally available. Ran at Ascot. The run at Ascot was just phenomenal on the front end of an absolute out and out pace war, and kept going.
I backed him. I remember thinking, well, that was phenomenal after the race. I was so chuffed.
Yeah, it was like some run that and he won this race last year off a £10 lower mark, which obviously up £10 now, and you'd be sort of getting concerned that he's 104 now, up £2 for that big Ascot effort. But then you look at the opposition in this, and I saw 11 to 4, and I know it's got backed, but I'm thinking to myself, 11 to 4 sent skinny, so I went through the rest of them, and I just went, what a pile of shit. In this race, like an absolute pile of scuts. Kievar's obviously at the top of its mark now. It's already beaten Americ, with Americ having a better trip at Ascot. So that second fab, that shows you what you got to beat. Ravens are shit, Diamond Bay's shit. Gilbert's will want soft ground. That's the Torcello. If the soft ground comes, that might be dangerous. But other than that, absolute scut in here. 11 to 4. It's a must-play 3 points win. Boring but effective. I'm not elated. I was going to lay 11 to 4 out. I won't lay 11 to 4. No chance. Anyway, one for the sandal wearers there. Quentin?
I'm going Dutch here with my 3 pointer lead. 14.25 Newmarket July Stakes tomorrow. And we've got a Claxon with Jack's exact same case as Inverchief Manacanato. Put him up as a place bet in the Coventry, strong in the market, and played up in the stalls, ended up being withdrawn. You look at the Windsor form, he was much the best on the day. Sky Wizards, the third's come out, fourth's come out and won since. Count Palatine's ran respectably. Like, he just looked strong form. Rockstar Icon didn't get the run of the race. That was the seventh home, and that should have won at, I think it was Haydock. I think missing Ascot here will be no bad thing, to be honest. The other horse in question that I want on side is Thunder Blue. Won at Goodwood, put up a really good time that day, travelled all over the field, and then dropped back in trip for a run in the Norfolk. Tried to make all, and I know he got hampered by elite status around a furlong and a half out. Just kind of lost his balance a bit, but he was coming back at the death, suggesting that 6 furlong will be what he wants. Tactically, this track should suit him a hell of a lot better. Favourite in the race, the Baldy, I think, is a rank bag price at 5-2, whatever it is.
Yes.
If you offer me 7-1 about this, I wouldn't back it at 7s. That's not me just making blasé statements, but
Nope.
Time was fine on debut. It was very much style over substance. Had the benefit of the hot rail that day. Like, you had the, I think, Impressive Act and Irish Nectar, the two main market rivals. They were in the centre of the track. All Is Fair, who was on the hot rail, they back punted that into evens at Carlisle. That got well beaten. And Instant Recall, I think, was about 8-1 the other day, and that got well beaten as well. Formula Suspect, God knows how, this is favourite. 2 points win Chief Manacanato, 11-2. 1 point win Thunder Blue, 16, I think it is. 16s, yeah.
Yeah, you can have 16s Thunder Blue. That's with Betfair, Paddy's and Sky Bet. 11-2. Manicato is with William Hill, but there's no other bookmaker but Sixers Bet 365. So we're giving you the second best price on offer. So I think that's fair enough. Quentin for your 2 and 1 point. We'll come on to that race in more detail after the best bet round. But before that, it's Jack Beach.
My 3-pointer league goes in the 3:35 on Friday, the Falmouth, and wanted to side with the Rafe and Ralph duo trained Remarquee here. I really respect the favourite. I know, we're a big fan of her generally. Ran a massive race at the Curragh, came from the back when nothing was that day. But I'm not sure conditions will be suitable here for her, or optimal at least. Dropping back to the mile for the first time in a long time. Ground, based on the weather reports, I'd imagine it's probably going to be slower tomorrow than it would be Friday. There isn't much forecasted tomorrow and Friday. So, seen Bowie's already said he's going to walk the track. So it wouldn't surprise me, actually, if she doesn't take up her place here. But even if she does, it's going to need to be a well-run mile. I didn't see loads of pace here. I thought Prosperous Voyage and Random Harvest were probably the pace angles, but neither are going to go off particularly quick. So it could end up being a little bit of a crawl. And I think that'd suit Remarquee. I mean, she showed, I know she was in defeat at Ascot behind Tahira, but she was the quickest finisher from a times perspective, her final furlong. She lost a shoe that day. She was arguably hampered a little bit with the winner. So didn't all go to plan. And I just think she's a filly that's still got a lot of improvement to come. She's fine on, she won on the slop at Newbury and then performed well on quicker ground at Ascot. So no concerns for her there. She's a little bit keen and green, but I think with that experience coming on, she'll improve for every run. And I just thought, the horse for me that's priced incorrectly entirely is Nashwa. Just don't like her at all. Thought that run at Newcastle was very poor. I don't think they really want to drop her back to a mile. I think they're just a bit desperate. So you can chuck her out personally. And I thought Remarquee would have been solid second fab. So seeing her in and around the sort of 9-2, 5-1 mark, I was very happy and quite a confident 3-point win selection.
Yeah, we'll come on to that race in a bit and agree with most of what you say. 5-1, Bet 365, Paddy's, Betfair, and Bet Victor for Jack's 3-pointer. John Lang finishes off.
Right, Jack, I'm going to do my best to dent your confidence now.
Go for it.
This is a bit of split stake wankering, actually. I was impressed enough with Via Sistina to think the drop to a mile won't be too much of an inconvenience. And I think on what I've seen, she's probably got plenty in hand of these. And she's probably the most likely winner. So I'll be having 1 point on her. And my other 2 points will be going on Amena of Roger Varians. This one went wrong in last year's Guineas and was on the verge of coming back apparently late August last year, and then they decided not to give her the winter off. Apparently she has done exceptionally well. My Varian snout has assured me she will look like an eagle in a flock of sparrows tomorrow.
Well, Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
She looked like shit Friday.
I don't know what age she's, honestly.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's. The rating she's already achieved puts her on a par with the likes of...
Curry House, John. Curry House.
Could be. Puts her on a par with the likes of Astral Bow, Random Harvest, Coppice. She's nearly double the price of those. I just don't see why she is, given the fact she's really unexposed. She wasn't beaten fair in the Guineas when she finished half crippled. I think Rarian's probably the type of trainer with these types to be best caught fresh. So I'm happy to rock along with 2 points on that one and a saver on the favourite.
Fantastic. 2 points, win 25s. Bet 365, Paddy's, Betfair, Bet Victor. And a point at 9 or 4, John. Saving on via Sistina. If she runs, that'll be dependent on the ground, I would think. I think fast ground, it'll be a no. If there's cut, then it'll be a yes. Right. I hope you enjoyed that. A 25-1 belter from John and some great prices from all contributors tonight. So thank you, chaps, for that. We come on to then previewing the races at the Kip over the coming days. So Newmarket tomorrow, 4 on the telly box. It's an ITV4. The Bahrain Trophy, I've already tipped in this and made my case. For Klondike, obviously Tower of London, but, you know, the 7-2 was a pipe dream, wasn't it? Thoughts on this, folks? John, any view here?
Well, I have actually already backed Klondike. I backed Klondike anti-post for this.
Yeah.
Really, for all the reasons you mentioned, I don't think he's done an awful lot wrong. I think if you take a line through Gregory and factor in some improvement for the inexperienced, I still think he's overpriced at 17-2, to be honest.
He comes out similar to St George, doesn't he, through Gregory?
Yeah. I can't understand the price, really. I'm almost tempted to go in again.
It's big. It's one of them, though, like, I know this is like not the right thing to do, but if it comes on the day and it's like sort of 9s on the machine or something, I'll back that, but I will cover my stake with Tower of London, even though it's not value. But it's just weird that I feel emotionally invested, and we shouldn't let emotions get in the way.
Yeah, but I backed him each way when there was 12 runners in, so I'm on 3 places, 10-1. But I still feel. I have to be honest. I still feel tempted to have a bit more.
I agree. That's the value. That's the value call. Quentin?
What do you think the Gallop will be like, lads?
A Gallop.
Yes. Castleway.
Well, Castleway went on. It had the run of the race when it beat Circle of Fire. That for me is the way into the race as well. I think Circle of Fire and Victory Dance didn't have the run compared to that.
There's none of these want to crawl, is there?
No, it'd be pointless crawling, Nick. I think if you go an absolute crawl here on the, I don't know. It is a worry sometimes, but I think someone will go on. I've got to think someone will. Maybe Callum might make it a pace on 66's perk, see if they can nick some prize money. Don't know. Quentin, views?
I think Tower of London still goes off. It's 6-4 across the board now. I still think it goes off shorter than that, to be honest. I do like the case for Klondike, and get that at the prices. I'll still have that shorter. St George isn't going to have the same sort of setup as it did at Ascot. Castle Way is a non-stayer, in my opinion. Land Legend certainly isn't going to have the same sort of setup. Personally, I think Ryan will just bounce it out here. He's the horse with gears, to be honest. We saw that at Down Royal last time out, like a fair old finishing speed. I think he just pops that out and dictates and makes all, in all honesty. Yeah, I had no qualms with the 6-4 at all. I had Klondike slightly shorter. I had Tower of London around 11-10 and Castle Way significantly bigger than the 9-2-4 on offer.
Good stuff, mate. Appreciate that. Odds from Quentin there. So Jack and Nick, are we sort of in agreement with all that, or something different?
Yeah, from my side, Lee, same as all of you really got written down here. Tower London most likely winner, Klondike unexposed and interesting. So yeah, can see the angle there. My gripe for the race is Land Legend, as I think I said. That brings my Melrose shortlist down to about 37 from 38, given he'll probably come third and go up a stone. So that was a bit frustrating, but there you are.
Yeah, so many trainers are ruining handicap marks. I I don't know why. There's a lot doing it, and it's kind of. I mean, like, all right, the shirt did win, didn't it, with Mystic Pearl on Saturday in that Phillies race. But imagine if Mystic Pearl had finished like third, right? You know, or even fourth. You're going up to like 92, 93, and well, that's boring, isn't it? You know, it's like it's boring for everyone concerned.
Do you remember when I said about Gorak? He come on telly, you fellow. He said, I mucked up. I tried to get it qualified, and he ended up with it top weight. Do you remember Gorak running that race?
Yeah.
Race? And he ended up top weight for the Buckingham Palace, and then he was on the wrong side. And now he's stuck with 105.
This is incredible. Right, so that's the Bahrain done. 225, obviously. A strong consensus here between we've had the asthmatic horse with Quentin and Jack for Chief Manny Carter. John, I'm going to ask you because obviously these two are very confident on the Manny Carter. What did you think to Windsor?
I thought the race was all right. Obviously, my concerns in the trainer column straight away. You know.
Well, I know I know that's it. It's the Charles thing.
You know, it just worries me, probably unnecessarily. But the horse did nothing wrong at Windsor, and I thought the race was useful. I mean, there's excuses for Count Palatine because it's been meaned since then. You know, and the other horses that have come out have run perfectly acceptably. So I don't think it's a bad shout by any stretch. I just think it's a little bit close to Malk's price, really, when Malk ran so well.
Well, that's my thing. Obviously, I've got a huge sectional for Malk on debut at Carlisle. You stuck it up in the Norfolk and did nothing wrong in the Norfolk. And the Norfolk form looks very strong. Hence, Quentin tipping up Thunder Blue in this race as well as a price. So I'm going to come back to Quentin. Quentin, what do you think to Malk?
Yeah, he's solid, but he's the right price in my opinion. Like, yeah, he's just the right price. Absolutely nothing wrong with him. Shapes as in trip will be no issue at all. Just 4-1 was the price. So
the thing is, like, the thing is, it's key here is we've gotten into this race in that Purasank is probably the worst favourite I've seen for a while in a major race. Anyway, like, how the hell? I think originally they put him in 7-4. You know.
Jesus.
Yeah, and obviously there's no takers. I mean, look, it might work well and stuff like that, but 5-2 for a rail bias, you know, it's incredible. I mean, I'll be amazed if that starts favourite on the day. I will be astonished. I can't know that starting favourite. Jack, Nick, anything to add on the July?
No, not from me, Lee.
Okie dokie.
I'm trying to place lay as well. The Balding horse. I think you'll be able to get him cheap enough in the place mark, even if he drifts out to 4-1, 5-1. I still think he's a place lay at them sort of prices. Not 4-1, 5-1, but like, you know what I mean.
Right, the 3 o'clock race. Obviously, some tips flying about in this. Frankness has been mentioned strongly, and Millstream for Jack. Where do I sit on this? I think Quinault's one of them that will just keep winning and winning and winning because he's a tough bastard. I mean, he had no right to peg back Washington Heights last time, still did. And it just seems to keep, like, it's like, no, it's 5. Keep rolling. No, Limp Bizkit in it. It's got to be.
Well, it should have the best round of race on. I think, according to the stick, it's 7.7 in the middle and 7.5 each wing. That's the turf tax reading at the moment. Didn't you think at the York race, I nearly come down on the side of Edmondson here because it was stuck in, it didn't go on either wing. It got stuck in the middle a little bit on its own. This is a little bit stiffer than York, and they've got the pieces on tomorrow. I thought if that edged a little of the improvement, it wasn't enough for me to sort of stiff it up, but I just thought out of those 4, it has got those couple of things in its favour that it's just and pieces on. A very hard race. I mean, the Tops run a great race in the King's Stand, didn't it, for a 3-year-old?
Yeah, no, it did. It really did. The Desert Cop, absolutely. That was a fantastic effort in the King's Stand, but 105. Mate, you like Harry Davies, Nick, just nicking that 3?
Yeah, I mean, but it's a very competitive race to me to sort of say that you can't nail down anything. I mean, if Washington Knights and Quinault go past the post together, we'll think, oh, it's so bloody obvious. We should have had a forecast, shouldn't we?
Yeah, it does look strong form to me, but Quinault just keeps that. He's such a tough bugger. That like I say, Washington had got the race all done and dusted for me last time, and then Quinault just said nah. Later on, it was quite an eyesight. Anyway, how many groups do they split into in this?
Three.
Four.
Three.
Four. Three's the spread. We'll have centre, far side, and stands, won't we? I think. Yawnsville, USA.
Might be a bunch of sweepers at the back as well.
Yeah.
Not Frankness for me. It's the other Frank at the bottom of the weights, B Frank, that took my eye to be. It's a massive up in grade, but you kind of look at the level of his form. I thought it was value for more than the bare result at Windsor. And you just look at the form of the Salisbury race. You had Bondi Beach come out when it's made and win a Nottingham Handicap in a good time. High School Harry came out and won at Lingfield. Desert Voice clocked a good time. That finished sixth that day when winning at Doncaster. Peel's a strong form. I don't think the handicappers kind of overburdened him with a £5 rise for the Windsor race. Henry Candy continues in decent nick, and yeah, I think he's going to be better than 84. And he's one of the least exposed in here. I know he's coming up against better horses, but double figures about him. I'm not going to be letting that go run free at all.
No, it's an interesting call. I mean, the thing with B Frank is, like with Candy, he is good with these sprinters. He really is. I mean, sometimes I think I'm not so sure about this, and then they just seem to just carry on improving. So, yeah, I like your call, Quentin, on B Frank to finish off in the 3 o'clock. Right, the interesting race now, the 3:35, the Princess of Wales. Lots of interest here, surely.
Gin and paid.
They should have swapped it around with the Sir Henry Cecil stakes. Now that is interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Cecil Frail. Is that the? Yeah,
No, it's Henry Cecil.
Oh, Henry Cecil. Right, whatever.
Who was Cecil Frail anyway?
I don't know. I've met him
It
up.
used to be running at Haydock, didn't it?
Yeah. Maybe this bloke must have been this bloke called Cecil that didn't look well.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, yeah, let's naff the Princess of Wales off.
Well, you don't have to naff it off, do you? You could have £2,000 sterling on Adiyar and then have the grand on my nap on Saturday.
Well, you could do. Are you going to double? You did a show recently where you did your famous double, didn't you? Your big double came in.
Yeah.
Your big shorty price double. But yeah, this is a bit better though. Imagine that, like your grand on 25 to 1.
I'll turn me J out of this. And then just...
Right. Okay, Addy for John. Right, every Cecil Stakes. Come on, Nick. You're showing an interest in this. So,
I mean, there's so much potential. I mean, I love New Endeavour's run in the Britannia. The big old price there. I mean, but the trouble is you've got so much that you don't know about. You don't know how Nostrum's come back. And you don't
bit on the gassy side.
Gassy side. Ooh, interesting. Interesting information there from Jonas Lang.
Oh, right. But it's a decent race, isn't it? Doesn't deserve to be at 4:45.
I like that bit of info from John there. That kind of just tilts it a bit. So Gassy Nostrum, New Endeavour, Guy Waterhouse has bought it. Nick, sorry, obviously off to Australia. So, interesting that they stay for this. To maybe pick up this prize, yeah. No Endeavour's big at 9s. I agree. I'm with you, Nick. I think that Britannia form is uber strong.
Well, the one we tipped, which didn't quite make it to the on edge, that we tipped the one outside. Yeah.
He's outside, John. He's outside, John. Go and fucking get it. Right.
It's not a takeaway. It's snouts ringing up, honestly. It's ridiculous this house is ridiculous when Newmarket's on. I promise you, it's awful.
Yeah.
I should switch my phone off.
Batman's one with 3 shoes, isn't he? Last Saturday, the Britannia form.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, the old Ramazan.
Ramazan, yeah.
Yeah. No, on the old Cinderella, the lost shoe. Quentin, your thoughts on this?
Puzzle, isn't it? The Nostrum information kind of helps a little bit in terms of it being gassy and potentially in this sort of small field. And Besto, I know we had liked for the Britannia. They obviously didn't get the third run into it. Was on the wrong part of the track at Donny.
Yes.
Slightly the hanging nature of it. I'm not sure if he was trying to hang towards the other horses, or then you've got the high head carriage. I'm kind of in Nick's camp here with New Endeavour being slightly overs. You can see what they're going to do with it. I think they'll go handy enough with it, or just track the pace. I think he's the overpriced one in the race. I think being in this smaller field will actually suit him, in all honesty.
Yeah, I like that, Nines. Yeah, I agree with Nick. Yeah, New Endeavour for us. Jonas?
I'd probably rock along with that.
Yeah. Jack?
Yeah, couldn't disagree there. You asked earlier how drunk Peter Chapel-Hyam is, Lee. I think your answer's there with the entry of Wildfell. Would you agree?
You can't even say it's tickets, can you? 'Cause it's not like Royal Ascot, is it? You know. But
well, that's it. I mean, owners wouldn't even want to go, would they?
I know. They'd probably sit in sales room or just watch it on telly bob at home.
Well, they rung him up and they said, "Hey, guess what? We're going to run him in the Henry Cecil." And they'll say, "Well, couldn't you get in the fucking Cecil Frail?" Fucking idiot.
Cecil Frail. Yeah. Where have I picked that up from? I don't know.
It does exist.
It's some gin there. Anyway, right. So coming on to Friday, that's that done. We've got the TV races. We've got Newmarket and York Friday, so we've got 6 races to do here potentially before any other business. So I'll try and fly through this and not bore you. 150. This is where Mr. Quentin Franks has tipped up Mighty River at 12-1. I think this is priced about right. I genuinely think they've got the right front two. There's a lot of horses that can improve. Possibly on the last runs, Bolster was too keen, Burglar was too keen at Ascot. There's a lot of excuses flying around for a few. Local Dynasty ran well at Ascot. Tag Barwood did. I don't mind Quentin's selection at all. But I thought it was very competitive. This obviously, I wanted Amleto to run. That was the poor Jack who put that out, and on pasturing, unfortunately, didn't make the field. I thought Amleto would have been the one. But thoughts on this, chaps? Who wants to chime in first?
Well, I'm taking the hint. With Amleto not running.
Oh, and I didn't see this at all. I know what you're saying, but I just didn't see it.
But you often don't with these, do you?
It's true.
You know.
But that form at Newmarket last time, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure what that offers. I just don't.
If you look at the dam, there's more to come.
Faduz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's wrong of me to probably dismiss it because of the page.
I mean, right. She's chucked that Neswa, 115 racing post rate. You know, the man the quarter. Bash Josh, 98.
Yeah.
Same sayer.
But yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they did a piece together. Maybe that case. I don't know. That's it. I don't know. Who knows? We don't know what's behind the running plans. But that's it. I
mean, let's be fair. We were all over the other one, weren't we?
We were.
We're done with bollocks already.
Yeah. So Quentin, do you think that's significant?
I like it on the Chepstow run more than the Newmarket run. Obviously, Chepstow, I know we both like the winner. What was it, Clan Chieftain or the Beckett horse? That form looks solid enough. Ailey Royal has come out and won its race since. On that, I don't mind the mark of 85. I think it's fine, given where he came from in the race. On the Newmarket run, 85 looks on the lofty side, but I think there's a bit more to come on slightly. I know he's done his winning on good to firm ground, but the way he moves, I still think there's more to come on just genuine good ground.
Making a print.
Yeah, well, which you suspect they will do on, Friday, early doors.
Yeah.
He's got the page to keep on improving. He's bred to be better than a mark of 85, and we don't know if it's significant or not that they've taken out Amleto and just ran this one because they think it's well in. no problem with it at all. Like I said, on the Chepstow run.
I mean, he's got mental strength in depth in this division, hasn't he? You know.
He could have picked and chosen anything.
Yeah.
I think he had 3 in at one point. So
he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he had the bleak. Yeah, in as well. So I suppose could that be a tip in itself? The shirt, 1 of 3, and we liked Hamletter. So could that be a significant? John points it out there. Interesting.
We've already done a bundle on the shirt. Might as well do some more.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, we have actually. Yeah.
The gallop here, there could be quite a gallop here. Well, I don't know with the wind form as well. There could be quite a gallop here. There's a few like to get on with it. Would they ride Local Dynasty a bit closer this time? He got well out of his ground at Ascot last time, didn't it? It was hopelessly positioned. He flew again.
Ran well. Yeah, it ran well.
Yeah. I put this in the too hard bracket. I mean,
good race.
Two kilt horses as well, so they could go late stint, couldn't they?
Yeah, and into the headwind, it could suit a good.
I mean, Kilt used to love this race, didn't he? I think he had about quite. I think he 4 years on the trot in between.
He used to have winners, didn't he? I know when we were at the sales, we had a good bet on one of his that won it.
Yeah, he won. He had 4 years on the trot, and then in
2020.
Yeah, Maputo.
Yeah, 2013.
The Kilt has won this race 6 out of the last 10 runnings. Not Friday.
Which says everything about a front end shithole, doesn't it?
He does, but that's because usually the wind, very rarely does it blow this way. So that it's usually a tailwind, and that's why he gets away with it. He won't get away with it Friday. Good. 2:25 Newmarket, the Duchess of Cambridge, and I'm very surprised, and I want to hear my fellow contributors because I value all your opinions, but I thought Star of Mystery was a 4-7 perk.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree.
I can't believe that's evens. It just looks to me like she blew me away last time. I went, geez. John, this is the old Cherry Hinton, isn't it? Yeah. Fucking Duchess of Cambridge. Fuck her. Cherry Hinton, for fuck's sake. Star of Mystery. This should be a lot shorter. I'm struggling to understand the betting, really. Even money's an absolute gift. But then again, it's never a gift on this kip. You just don't know what it's going to be. But all being fair, if this were a fair race, fair ground, whatever, even money's an absolute gift. I was going to tip it up, but it's even more boring than my 11-4 3-pointer. So, John, Quentin, are you in agreement?
Well, this division is depressing the living shit out of me at the minute because Star of Mystery's Conqueror first time up should be running here as a second start.
Exactly, Lady Cat.
Honestly, I don't even want to watch it. I think I'll shut the curtains while this is. I'm depressed, man.
I know. Poor John. Idiot Christopher goes to Ascot with his guineas, next year's guineas fancy. Quentin?
I'm in agreement with you in regards to Star of Mystery in the price. I was kind of against it last time out in the whatever it won in that listed race, the Maureen Britain thing, just purely because I wasn't sure how strong the rail bias was at Haydock when she got big back end sectionals, but she was deadly impressive, wasn't she? Like, just quick and clear, good time. She's smart. She's very smart. I know you had a good word pre-Ascot about Soprano, but I still don't like her from a physical standpoint. I know Bowie can keep getting more, but this Star Mystery is just too good for him. And I'd kind of be maybe not as short as 4-7, but certainly south of 4-6.
Good stuff. Jack, Nick, anything to add?
Yeah, my notes on Star of Mystery from last time out simply read whoosh. So, I was impressed with that. Even money sounds good. Have what you like on.
It does. It does indeed. The producer has had her £5 when it evens anti-pursed as well. So there we go. So the producer isn't daft. When she stakes the £5, she means business. I can tell you now. You have a quick jolly job, or you have a double with that and live your dream in the next, and just sort of think, just double it up. To be honest, double. I mean, I'm an absolute boring bastard at the best of times, but I was thinking that you know, like I was going to tip Star of Mystery and Live Your Dream in my 3, and I'm thinking evens at 11-4. Are you serious? So that was one of the reasons I didn't. But yeah, a blasting double. I want to challenge any of you guys. If you can get Live Your Dream beat, I want to know why. Please tell me why.
Do they go handy again and run into the headwind and fall in a hole that way?
Well, there's an idiot in Sad Linter as well. They've decided to go all Kevin Stott, and you know
that would be the only concern of mine.
But like, the Dolphins' next jockey.
No.
Howls of derision.
Yeah. Kevin Stott will be on Desert Crown in the Ark. That's the consensus. Anyway.
I'll get off the ferry and drive straight to fucking Frankfurt.
Right, yeah. So anyway, live your dream, chaps. Come on, give me reasons why Live Your Dream won't win. Well, Quentin said it about possibly like going too handy and blasting off into the wind. Jack, Nick, John, give me a reason why Live Your Dream won't win.
I can't give you a reason why it won't win because I think it will win. I made a strange noise when Danny Tudor kicked for home 3 furlongs out at Ascot.
Did it rise with duck?
No, it was audible, but it was unintelligible. I thought I lost the power of speech for a few moments.
Oh, right. Is it the same noise when you tighten the vibe?
It's like the sort of thing when you're struggling for a shit and you can't, and then you get there, you know, it's that type of thing. You know,
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, you got it in one.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, I absolutely did me bollocks, and I forgave the horse more or less straight away because it was such a super effort, and I think it's an absolute smasher, and I think most of these are cunts. So 11-4 still all right, I think.
It's the big Sandal Boys double. The 2 races there. Anything to add on that, chaps?
Nah, not from me. I think that as you said, ran a corker at Ascot. I guess only worried has it taken loads out of the horse, run into the headwind again Friday.
Fair
but
point.
I wouldn't be laying 11-4 as you said, Lee. So yeah. Strong.
If it runs its race, it'll win. It's just I agree with that though, and I agree with what Quentin said about the wind. You know, they might get a bit too giddy, and it could flatten out, as you say, Jack, after a big effort. Right, the Falmouth. Well, we've got a difference of opinion, Jeffrey, on the winner takes it all.
We're going to try Remember
that one? Jimmy Tarbull.
Jeffrey Wheeler, he was called.
Jeffrey Wheeler, yeah. Winner takes it all. We have a difference of opinion, Jeff. Anyway, the younger people are going, what are these fuckers on about? Anyway, right.
He was an horrible bastard, wasn't he?
I'm struggling to think anything but a sprint here.
What do you mean? Like, in terms of, like, pace?
Pace, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Which is why I thought, Via Sistina might be a little bit compromised. That she'll want a well-run mile, won't she?
Well,
didn't Race make the running last year when she won it?
Prosperous Voyage, yeah. I mean, that was certainly
4-runner race, was it? Was it a 4-runner race, though?
Yeah, it was.
5.
She's made the running before, though, hasn't she? So, I mean, she's...
Yeah, she's had enough.
She's equipped.
She's had enough, though, hasn't she? Like Prosperous Voyage. She just looks a shadow of, like, she looks like she can't be arsed, like Nashua. Like, there can't be Arsenal. They want some cock.
There's not a lot about her, is there?
No. Fillies are ready sometimes to think, well, I'd rather be stood in a field with Frankel shoving it in the ass. Yeah.
We should be up her ass and we have her.
Well, you know what I mean.
It's $250,000 a pop, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like Love Island, isn't it?
Come back and say she'd have it up the ass, you'd be fucking killed.
Anyway, so I agree with Jack on Remarquee. I felt that the run in the Coronation was very, very good. I think she's a very talented filly, and I much prefer over an Ashwell, so I like Jack's angle there. in terms of the prices, because I'd have Nashua big. I think Nashua's I don't know. I think she's gone.
She's gone, and the pilot ain't going to help.
Yeah, Daft Ollie. Yeah,
She was in number 6 next, won't she? After she caps her in this.
Yeah. And John's is very interesting. Also, I had no idea he would have put that up. So, yeah, I'll have to have a delve into the race. But any other views on this, chaps?
Probably want to be again. A lot of the race revolves around the ground. If it's fast ground, they ain't going to run the Jolly, which then puts Nashua artificially as favourite. And you suspect they're going to bounce her out. She's back in trip. Strong headwind, Holly Doyle on top, prime Jolly to get beat if Vias Destina doesn't run. Basically, you're against Nashua, which means there's a bet somewhere in the race. I like John's angle, to be honest. Like, he knows it's going to rock up looking like $1 million. Then there's no real reason it should be. Was it a pony 25 at the moment?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like you've got horses like Random Harvest that, what price is that? 10 to 1. Like, I'd be pretty. I'd quite happily rock him with John's horse.
Indeed, yeah.
It's feasible she could rock up looking good as well, because I had a decent note on her last year going into the Guineas from a physical point of view. So it doesn't scream bullshit at me when they're telling me that.
No. Right, I can't be asked with the York Telly races because we're running short of time. But what I want to put to you, chaps, is any other business over the sort of like next 3 days that is worthy for our listeners to finish the show off?
Any meeting?
Well, whatever, really. If you don't want to release it now, that's fine, because obviously, we've all got to get on. We have to tell listeners, but at the same time, anything that you think is interesting between,
seeing as Bleak's been mentioned, I think that's obviously. I think that's going to take a chunk out of the market. I'm like you, Lee. I really love this Algersaur. I think York's going to sort it down to the ground. Ground will suit it. He's off 80. He's a hell of a lot better than 80 to Charlie Fellow's horse in the. I think it's 1550 York on Friday. I'd be fairly strong on that. In sectionals at Redcar, huge markup.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, this is a very this is a real good horse, isn't it? Yeah, 75 to 80. Oh wow. I should have napped this for the show, really. But then I wasn't concentrating. I was just trying to give listeners the Kip angle for the week. But anyway, that could be one there. That's a competitive handicap. That could be a nice betting race for us on Friday. Anything else, chaps, on offer?
Not for me.
No, I'll review that on Friday night.
Okie dokie.
And then I'll dish some tips out after I review that.
So
I've got two on Friday at Ascot, but if you want to see him, pay your money, join Edge, and you can have them.
There you go.
That's
summed up fantastically by Jack Veach there. Yeah, you tight scrubbers, get paying the money. You get the cream of the crop. The Edge Bulletin today, for example, did the nursery at Lingfield with the 8-1 winner and the 7-1 second that were double figures on the machine. We're not stupid. Well, we are, but sometimes we come up with gems. And yeah, so it's worth it. Do it. Support us, because we're the voice against the establishment, and you know it. That's all from us. Me, John, Quentin, Nick, Jack. Bye for now.